Dude, let's talk about a no-lose mentality. You know what all these medals are for? Either winning bodybuilding competitions or I'm winning Taekwondo tournaments. And the reality is you don't get to compete and win at higher levels until you build a certain kind of mindset. But I gotta tell you, most business owners, most people don't have that mindset. And when we talk about the recession that is here, people are already getting crushed. And if you don't wanna get crushed by this recession, pay attention. School's in session.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Check it out, Kris Krohn here, and today we're talking about the recession and how to not get crushed by it. How do you prevent that? Let's start with just understanding what really is a recession. It's simply a significant decline in economic activity that is spread across the economy and lasts more than a few months. In other words, it's like, shoot, no one's spending money, consumers are afraid, and businesses are struggling, and they're going out of business. That's kind of what a recession means. And economically, here's how you measure it. A common rule of thumb is that 2 consecutive quarters of negative gross domestic product, GDP, basically means we're in a recession. And you know what? No one's telling us what's going on right now. They're like, hey, I think we're gonna be in a recession sometime this next year. I'm like, no, we're definitely in a recession right now. How do I know that? Well, we have 340 businesses already this year that have declared bankrupt. That's the highest number that we have seen since 2010. We don't even know what the second half of the year is gonna bring, but this literally might be a repeat of what we saw then. And trust me, we don't wanna repeat that. Now, the big question is, should you be worried? And I want you to understand right now, I am your cheerleader. I'm fighting and rooting for you because I want you to be the champion. I want you to win. And financially, if we are in a recession, we are, then it's an opportunity for you to financially level up your game and actually get ahead. People that do nothing, ostriches, head in the sand, waving their big fat meaty part for the lion to come out and basically pounce on you and take that meat off your backside, that doesn't have to happen to you. That's just what the non-action takers get to experience. The US economic outlook, it's improved in recent months, but economists still see a difficult road ahead. The Fed has acknowledged, according to Forbes, that the banking crisis in early 2023 tightened credit conditions, making it more difficult to secure loans. We also know inflation is up 4.1% in June, and S&P 500 companies are on track to report a 5.2% earnings decline for the second quarter, the largest decline in any quarter since the pandemic shutdowns in 2020. And all of this adds up to, should you be worried? I'm saying no, because recessions usually create problems that produce money-making opportunities. If you've been watching too much of the news and you got some of that fear-mongering going on inside, you may want to take a break from CNN and Fox and all that kind of stuff, because instead, why don't we focus our energy on what we can do about this recession that we're in right now? All right, before we jump into the solution, we got to make sure that we understand the problems that we need to overcome, because we've got number 1, inflation, we've got number 2, interest rates, and number 3, business decline. If we can understand and overcome these 3 things, you got nothing to worry about. So let's tackle inflation first. The annual inflation rate at the end of last year was 8%, and it continues to rise. Most 401ks and IRAs have a 5 to 10% ROI per year. That's barely keeping up with inflation. So basically, inflation is canceling out any growth in your normal retirement. Definitely not good news. But when it comes to interest rates, with higher interest rates, the cost of living for everyone goes up. So it costs businesses more, and that's trickling down to the consumer due to increased prices of gas and housing and bottom line everything. Also doesn't sound super positive, but I got a solution coming up right around the corner. And number 3, business decline. Businesses losing money rapidly, it's definitely bad news for the public. Prices shoot up and employees are laid off, resulting in financial issues for a whole lot of people. So these are the problems. And the good news is that there is a solution, and it wraps all of them into a single course of action for you, so that you can take something like a recession bad news and instead turn it into something really positive, like it always is for me. So let me show you how you can thrive in a recession, because I mentioned that I love them. I want to reveal why that actually is. Real estate investing done the right way outperforms market conditions. So something bad turns into something actually really good. For example, check this out. If you have $50,000, for example, sitting in a 401k or an IRA, something set aside for retirement, right? Your 30-year average on that return is around 6%, which means over 20 years, that $50,000 is going to turn into $160,000. However, if you invest in real estate, check out the alternative. You put that same $50,000 into a real estate deal that's earning a minimum of 25%. By the way, I've done it thousands of times. This is very, very doable. You could potentially grow that to over $4.3 million in that same 20-year period of time. What sounds better to you for retirement? $160,000 or $4.3 million. And if you earn closer to the ROIs that I do, it's not $4 million. Now we're talking something well over $10 million. That's just the power of compound interest. And that's why it pays to learn how to become a financial genius and partner and play with people that financially know what they're doing. For example, you may not be aware that I've got people all over the world who partner in real estate with me. They take their 401ks or IRAs or equity in their home or savings and they partner up and say, hey, Kris, I don't got a lot of money, but I got something. And I say, cool. I got a team of 200 experts and we're finding literally the best deals. Let's marry the two of these together. Let's grow the wealth and we'll just split the profits equally after you've been paid back. And you know what? For most people, they look at that and they say, that's a dream come true. You want to know why? Because they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to learn a second job on the side. They don't want another profession. What they really want is for the passive growth towards financial freedom to be what they need through the game of real estate so they can still focus on family, career, their life, and basically not have to disrupt everything that they've got going on. If you want to learn more about partnering with me, click the link below and I'll give you all the data and information, and I'll even give you track record access to my last several thousand deals. Check those out, and if we have a really possible match here, I might be your business partner, and you might be getting my cell phone. We might be business partners, and we might be going into real estate together to take a little bit of cash and turn it into millions. Click the link below if you want to learn more. The next logical step is for me to show you how I make money in real estate, right? Like, Kris, where are these deals where you're making all of those really high returns? If you want to know for 2023 exactly how I'm doing that, click right here and let's get started.